Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi wahda. Wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da. Amma ba'd. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome all of you on behalf of Center for Peace and Global Studies to this online monthly lecture, which is the 10th lecture of this series. I would like to start this program with the recitation from the Holy Quran, and I would like to request Dr. Hafiz Ahmad Hamad to recite few verses from the Holy Quran for this lecture.
Assalamu alaikum. Brother Son, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون صدق الله العظيم.
صدق الله العظيم. Jazakallah khairan, Dr. Hafiz Ahmad Hamad. Our guest today, Dr. Saeed Ullah Shah, is also here. I welcome him. Dr. Saab, welcome to the 10th lecture of the monthly online lecture series of Center for Peace and Global Studies. Our Secretary General, Dr. Muhammad Shahid Rafi, is also here. I welcome him also to the lecture and all the participants. This program is normally conducted by our colleague, Dr. Sajjad, but he is not here. He is out of station today. So Ahsan Malik, I am coordinating this session. So let me give you a brief introduction about our guest today. Dr. Saeedullah Shah, he graduated from Khyber Medical College in Peshawar, and later on he completed his medical studies from the United Kingdom. Currently, he is a consultant cardiologist at Shifa International Hospital here in the capital city of Pakistan, Islamabad. And this is one of the main prestigious hospital here. He is a member of different international professional societies of his field. Along with these, he is very active in social and even in sports activities. He is teaching at Shifa Hospital at different teaching departments. He is also chairman board of governors of medical training institution in Banu, somewhere in his hometown areas. Dr. Saab is also active in Dawah activities and Islamic activities, and is part of Pakistan Islamic Medical Association and has remained its president of Islamabad chapter. Dr. Saab is also active in sports, as I mentioned, and he has arranged a marathon from Islamabad to Murray for charity activities in 2019. And then he took part in London Marathon, 39th London Marathon that was held on April 28, 2019. And he completed the 29-mile long race in 5 hours and 20 minutes. So he's very active, and he tries to remain active. So today we have chosen this lecture, keeping in view his activities and his interests. He is also president of an organization named Khaibar Margalla Foundation, that is an association of some professionals living in Islamabad. This is brief introduction of scholar, our guest today, and he has remained very much active in guiding people during the COVID-19 era through different online forums, through WhatsApp groups. So his services are well recognized. So welcome, sir. And today our topic is utilizing the holy month of Ramadan for improving health and lifestyle. You might be getting more information and listening to many lectures that are dealing with the spiritual aspect of Ramadan. But today we have requested Dr. Sab to guide us about improving health and lifestyle along with the spiritual benefits of Ramadan. So the floor is yours, Dr. Sab. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you very much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So Dr. Shah seems to know more about me than I about myself. I didn't realize I've done. The London Marathon is standard. It's 26.3 miles, so not 29 miles. And I could complete it in 4 hours or something, but I was taking pictures as well whilst running and doing running commentary. So that's why it took a bit longer, but I could have done it. And it was Murray to Islamabad rather than Islamabad to Murray. Islamabad to Murray would be a bit difficult because it's you go up.
Yes,
so
yes.
Coming down is relatively easy, but you get a lot of toe injuries. Right. Yes, I'm a consultant cardiologist and professor in cardiovascular medicine. And in addition to other activities, I do academic and research work, and my area of interest is cardiometabolic health, and I'll explain all these terms. So cardiometabolic health, heart failure, and cardiovascular disease in South Asians. So these are my 3 main areas of interest besides other things in research. And currently we have got some research programs going on in this area, in these areas. So what I intend to do is, I'm not going to talk for very long because it's I can understand people have got things to do, and long lectures and long talks are usually not taken up very well. So that's one. Secondly, I would like it to be a more interactive session. So I would like everyone here to ask about all those questions, especially related to cardiovascular disease, or what we call heart disease, stroke, diabetes, weight, exercise, all those things which we generally relate to our, there are misgivings, there are myths about them. Now, why did we opted for a lifestyle, improve your lifestyle in Ramadan? So we'll talk about this. So first of all, let me take you through some definitions. Cardiometabolic health or cardiometabolic disorders. Cardio means heart. Metabolism is the way your body acts, the way your body takes up energy and burns it. So that would be the simplest explanation. The scientific research tells us that there is a close relationship. There is what we call a continuum, a tasalsul, that is continuum between these conditions, which include excessive eating, resulting obesity, insulin resistance, lack of exercise, and then if you add into it smoking, and then the blood pressure joins in, that leads to high insulin for the food you eat. That leads to failure of your pancreas, which is responsible to take care of your sugars and the food that you eat, which converts into sugar, and liver, and then diabetes starts, and then diabetes leads to complications, and so on. Along with that, not always, but a lot of patients develop problem with the arteries which supply their heart, which we call coronary arteries. Again, people have misgivings. They consider the arteries of the heart as valves. So valves are different and arteries are different. And if I can show you the model of heart, so just ignore this one but these are the arteries which supply the heart muscle, and the heart is the size of your fist. So this is the heart, and this is the arteries which supply the heart muscles. And if there is narrowing or blockages in these arteries, you develop what we call angina or chest pains. And if they get blocked completely, you have what we call a heart attack. Right. I had to explain these things because there is a very, very important association between food and diseases, and hence the Ramadan. Lifestyle medicine or lifestyle is how you spend your life. I won't go into what you wear, whether you have designer clothes. That's a different thing. Here we are talking from health perspective, and from that, balanced diet, exercise, and appropriate weight, smoking, and in current era, your mental health, sleep, and if you have add to it the use of social media, screen use. So all these things we will touch when we talk about, we'll touch upon all these factors. So first of all, let's go to Ramadan and how to improve your lifestyle. And lifestyle improvement, we know scientifically associated with better health, good health, fitness, longevity. Longevity means you live longer. If you look around yourselves, among your colleagues, in your villages, in your cities, in your towns, you will see that compared to few generations ago, people are getting bigger. People are exercising less. There are more cars. And as a consequence, if you look around in your families and among your colleagues, people who are obese, so there is overweight, and then overweight leads to, if you are above certain weight, we call it obese or obesity. You will see these people who are obese or overweight, they will have more diseases, they will have shorter lifespan, and they disappear around you. If you see them, they won't be around you for much longer. And this is not, I'm saying this is what epidemiology or science is saying. Again, if you look at the religions, most of the religions, as far as I know, and also the ways of life, people who are not religious, but still who follow certain ways of life, controlling diet, fasting, are part of religion. So Christianity have got their Lent, Jewish people have their own way of fasting, Hindus have their own fasting, and so on. In 2016, Nobel Prize in Physiology and Medicine went to a Japanese scientist whose name is Yoshinori Osumi. I might not have pronounced him very well, but you can Google him. And that was based on his work in 1990s, where he worked on autophagy, which is programmed cell death. Basically, to make it simple, that body takes care of older and not used body cells, and also the bacteria and the viruses and any other foreign bodies that come into the body, and it eats it up, it breaks it down, and breaks it down into non-dangerous compounds. That is positive autophagy. But if this autophagy goes wrong, it can lead to diseases as well. Anyway, because it's not a scientific talk per se, I'm trying to make science easier for everyone here. But basically, it also tells you that when you reduce caloric intake, when you cut down on your food, when you cut down on the calories that you take, that has got, it triggers autophagy or programs cell death in the body, which can lead to improvement in the glucose, improvement in cholesterol, improvement and also prevention from cancer. Now, coming back to Ramadan and improved health and improved lifestyle, we have in the last 3 years, we have been running a research program which did not, I mean, I would have liked it much more extensive, and probably I should have worked a bit more extensively. We call it Heal Ramadan. Heal stands for healthy eating and living in Ramadan. So basically what's happening is, in the last 3 or 4 decades, probably since 70s, because of increase in finances, material wealth, and more availability of food, people have been eating a lot. And a lot means much beyond their capacity. You need to understand the concept of calories. Kilocalories is the unit of energy that will estimate the energy present in certain food. So, for example, your body needs a body which is a usual Asian body, or I won't go to African body. African body is different, but Asian, South Asian body, Malaysian body is different as well. European body is different as well. But let's take someone who is 5'7". That man will, if he's active, will require about 2200 to 2500 kilocalories. This is to keep his body, and the woman would probably need 2000 kilocalories. Pregnant woman will need around 3000 kilocalories, and a very active man who is running around, who is working hard, who is a laborer, probably would need 3000. And if when I did marathon, I consumed about 5000 kilocalories that day, and that is after running for 26 miles, and I measured it. So you could imagine that how much kilocalories one needs. Just to give you an example, an apple contains 50 kilocalories. And samosa, which most of our people probably know about, people from Africa would not, but I'll give you another example of that. So samosa or deep fried savory product, it has got about 200 to 250 kilocalories. Oh, baklava, everybody probably knows baklava because it's Arab, Turkish, and baklava contains about 200 kilocalories, depends on what the size. Gulab jamun contains about 250 or 300 kilocalories. Pizza, a slice of pizza, that much slice, I've got bigger hands, but that will contain about 400 to 500 kilocalories. A full pizza will contain about 3,000 to 4,000 kilocalories. McDonald's burger, just take any burger, but have a cheeseburger or something with the fries. And if you take Coca-Cola or Pepsi with that, will contain about 1,500 kilocalories. It's just to give you an example. 1 gram of carbohydrates contain 5 kilocalories, and 1 gram of oil contains 10 kilocalories. Now, this is what we eat and what it contains. Now, how much calories, how much work, how much exercise you have to do to burn calories? So if you walk fast, you will burn 5 kilocalories per minute. It means to burn a gulab jamun, which is a sweet mithai, or it's a sweet deep fried thing, you have to walk for 60 minutes. And if you run, through running, in 1 minute, you will burn 7 to 8 kilocalories, up to 10 kilocalories. So to burn 1 gulab jamun, you have to run for 30 minutes. It's getting longer and longer, but just wanted to tell you that this is very important, that you keep this balance. Whatever comes in must be burned if you want to keep your body, your weight appropriate. In Heal Ramadan study, this is what we wanted from the people. Then during Ramadan, improve your lifestyle, improve your health, improve your diet by not eating too much. So what happened in Ramadan, usually you stop eating at around 4 o'clock in the morning, and you break fast at around 6:30. This is happening in Pakistan. So that is around 8 plus 14 to 15 hours. So 14 to 15 hours of break from eating and drinking. This scientifically gives rest to your body organs, in particular your stomach, your pancreas, your liver, and of course all, because nothing is independent, everything is related to each other. You give rest to these organs, and they try to recover from all the damage and all the work they have been doing all the time. Because what's happening generally is, we wake up in the morning, this I'm talking of Pakistan, but it's happening almost everywhere. You have a fried roti or a bread, which we call paratha, and then we have 2 eggs with that, and a cup of tea or 2 with a lot of sugar in it. And then at 10 o'clock, we have to have a break as well. And in that break, people have a cup of tea or coffee and cake or samosa or something. Then we get hungry again at lunchtime. At lunchtime, a lot of people eat a lot of things. Usually it's biryani or roti, naan, which is usually white. And then, because all this, they get again tired and hungry, so then they have tea at 4 o'clock with a mithai. And then, because they have worked so hard the whole day, in the night time, they eat again, plenty of food, and they go to bed. And then they come to us, to the doctors, that we have indigestion and we are putting on weight and we don't eat anything. That is, I know not everyone does that. So what happens for 16 hours, 17 hours, 14 hours, you stop all this from happening. Your engine, your factories had some rest. And then the time comes of iftar. And then people overeat again. They generally, if they have to eat one samosa, they will have 2 samosas or 3. If they have one pot of chaat, they will double that. They will eat a lot, and then they will have something, and then they will have something, and it carries on and on until. So Ramadan, which was supposed to look into improve all these things, you actually overeat and people actually put on weight. So what should have happened, and what we want now to cut this story short is, you have got this chance of fasting, which medically we called intermittent fasting or time restricted fasting, TRF, which gives your 2 vital organs, which is pancreas and liver, time to rest, and also shift a lot of fat which is accumulated there and glucose to other parts of the body. This is good. This later on, when in the iftar, instead of overeating, you just eat 1 meal worth of food, which would be 1 roti and usual salan, which is usual. This is what we have: some curry, some vegetable, with a lot of salad, with plain water or lassi, which is a yogurty drink, or milk. Forget about tea, and then have a lot of fruit. Go to your tarawih if you want to do tarawih and do your namaz. You will feel and go for a little walk. You should feel much better in yourself. And then again in sahar, if you have just today, I had 2 slices of bread with peanut butter, 2 glasses of water, and probably a banana, and that was it. And I usually walk in the morning 3 to 4 kilometers in the morning. I'll be busy today. It's our working day. And later on, do all those things. If there are procedures, we do procedures. If there are patients to see, we see the patients. And to be honest, I feel much lighter. In Ramadan, I cut down on my food even more, and I lose weight. I'll take you to a concept of what we call intermittent fasting. This is a non-religious concept, and intermittent fasting is used to lose weight, to improve your health. And it has been shown intermittent fasting means for 18 hours or 16 hours you don't eat, and for 8 hours you eat. One way is this. The other way is you eat properly for 5 days, and for 2 days you do fasting, and meaning cut down your food to just 800 kilocalories, and many other ways of. Ramadan is our time restricted fasting. If you see it from a scientific point of view, leave the religion to one side, it is 28 or 29 days of intermittent time restricted fasting, enough to improve your health, but does not cause starvation. Because when the starvation starts, when the fasting converts into starvation, which some people do, some people follow it, some religions follow it as well, then it causes harm. But this sort is just perfect for your health. And by definition, it should improve your health. So my suggestion would be, even from day to day, and we can send you the HEAL link, which is Healthy Eating and Living in Ramadan. Please work on the following. Number one, in iftar, please cut down on deep fried foods. Once in a while is fine, especially for those people who are middle-aged, people who have got excess weight, people who have got cardiovascular disease, people who have got diabetes, people who have got cholesterol problem, or generally for anyone. Just keep it as a simple food, the food that you used to eat in your parents' houses. That would be 3 generations ago, which is usually a sabzi or a vegetable, and sometimes some meat in it or chicken in it, and bread, homemade bread, which is whole meal, not the white bread which has got no bran in it. A lot of green salad, so cucumber, green salads, carrots, similar sort of these olives, etc. Make it interesting. Have some kidney beans or chickpeas in it to make it more lemon in it, make it more interesting. The endeavor is, the plan is to cut down on your carbohydrates and have more of these things which we call negative calories, but good for you, because they will also save you from constipation as well. Have plenty of water, have plenty of fruit, no tea or coffee, and of course, no smoking, no snuff or naswar, no what in Somalia's they have what we call GHAT, GAT or something. Also in Yemen, they use a lot of those things. Pan, which is another thing which people use, bidi, smoking, this hubble bubble, what is this thing called? Hubble bubble, which is hookah. You know all those things. So, and of course, if you're drinking alcohol, that is the time, because I know people who fast but also drink as well. So this is where that plus few other things. Take up some walking. We don't want you to walk for miles and miles, but some walking will be good for you. Cut down on the use of screen, social media, television. Try to cut it down. Again, this has been shown to improve your social life, your health. I can talk about it for hours and hours, but I don't want to go beyond half an hour. I'm already getting to half an hour. So I will, I think I will stop here, and then I'll take your questions. I think interactive session would be much better. But if I'm asked to talk more about this, I think I better stop, because after 20 minutes, your attention is lost. So I will leave it here, and I will invite everyone to come up and have their questions, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. We have participants here from many countries and many different regions. So any one of you, if you have any question, please raise your hand. I saw Professor Fakhrul Islam Saab raising his hand. Yes, Sheikh Najjar, I will give you yes chance. Let me start with you. So please unmute yourself. Sheikh Najjar is from South Africa. Yes, Sheikh.
Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak to all of you, and inshallah, may the Ummah benefit from this as much as we has benefit from the wonderful presentation from this doctor. Doctor, I want to compliment you, and I think what you actually confirmed to us here, Doctor, this morning is indeed Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a true messenger, because he has educated us also what and the way we must live and what to eat also. And I'm just going to use an example where the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam have said, "Ma malabni Adam wi'a'an sharran min batnihi," that the most wicked thing Bani Adam can fill is his belly. But he got to eat. Then he must divide his stomach into 3 portions: 1/3 for the food, 1/3 for the water, and 1/3 for the oxygen. So, doctor, you confirm to us, and as if from a medical science, what you are presenting this morning, it's a fact that I understood it now. I mean, mashallah, to the extent whereby you made us proud to be believers and followers of Muhammad, because he has educated us also that way. And may Allah bless you, doctor, for a wonderful presentation, inshallah.
Thank you very much. Yes, Brother Suhail, kindly unmute yourself. Yes, Brother Hasham Bhatti, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Hasham's mother. I've logged in by this name.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
I just wanted to ask that I have this habit of binge eating, and I understand that we need to have 3 portions, like formerly the speaker said that 1/2 has to be for air, the second half has to be for food, and the third half has to be for water. But once I feel really hungry, I just can't, withhold myself from eating, and then I eat too much.
Right.
So
So binge eating is, as you just mentioned, binge. It can be sign of early diabetes, or if you're diabetic, it could be because you get your tablet causes your glucose to go lower. It is, in the end, you have to train yourself. So even if you have to binge on salads and carrots and cucumbers, which have got negative kilocalories. When I say negative kilocalories, it doesn't mean they don't have calories. They do. But the amount you spend by eating, chewing, and digesting, the energy you spent on it is more than the calories that they give you. It is something you have to work on it. Try not to have biscuits, cake, pastry, things like that to binge. If you binge on that it will give you a lot of kilocalories. So if instead of that, the best thing would be drink plenty of water and keep apples, guavas, carrots, cucumbers, and something handy instead of crisps, chips, biryanis, samosas, pakoras, etc. So first of all, work on both the quality of what you binge on, the quantity of one, but also improve your habit. You probably are pre-diabetes, I wonder, but that is something you
I have a family history of diabetes, but I'm not
then you will develop diabetes, because this is, unfortunately, is the situation that a very, very big proportion of our people are diabetic or pre-diabetic. But if again, I will talk to you about our program, which is Comet Health Program, which is preventing from diabetes, improving diabetes, and reversing diabetes. But that is, although it's part of this cardiometabolic health, but it was not in this topic. If anyone is interested in taking part in our research activities in improving their cardiometabolic health, they can join us. We'll send you links on our various groups, and you can be part of research. And even people who have developed diabetes, that can be reversed as well. Again, scientifically, there is no magic bullet. Karela won't do it, garlic won't do it, ajwa won't do it. This will be against law of nature. This will be against sunnate ilahi, that a disease which grows scientifically is reversed by some magic word or magic drug or magic food. Nothing, because that will be against fitrat. That will be against laws of nature. If that is the case, then no one will die. Then the prophets won't die. Nobody will die. So we need to manage these things scientifically, and science is not un-Islamic. Science comes from Allah. So whatever we do is scientific. So binge, you have to train yourself well. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Brother Abdullah, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. I have a question. What would you suggest for an underweight person, approx 8 to 10 kgs underweight person? What would be the diet plans for him in Ramadan, especially?
I didn't get it. Could someone
Yes, please raise your voice and please repeat again, please.
or could someone repeat it for me? I didn't hear it very well. In Ramadan, I go a bit Dora.
Sir, what would you suggest for an underweight person, approx 8 to 10 kgs underweight person, for his diet in Ramadan, especially?
Right. First thing is, what is underweight? Underweight is what we, in good old days, that was 40 years ago, in our villages, everyone was what we call underweight, meaning they were slim and smart. And whenever they would see someone getting a bit fatter, and usually these were the people who were returning from Dubai or Qatar and eating a lot of Arab food, and they will say, what you eat, you look so healthy. So first thing is, again, when the mothers come to us, they point towards their fat child, say, ye to healthy hai, this is healthy. But the slimmer one, she said, this is kamzor, meaning he's got no, he doesn't have any strength, etc. First thing is, if your body is the way you are, then don't do anything to it. Underweight, you think it is underweight, but whether it is underweight or not is a medical question. If you were born, if your body structure, if you are born as a Suzuki car and you try to become a Toyota Corolla, that will cause problems. To accept what your body is, there is some underweight which is due to disease. That's a different thing. Due to malnutrition, that's a different thing. But if you ever watch marathon runners, if you watch long distance runner, you look at people from Kenya or that side who are distance runner, or Ethiopia or Somalia, these people, if you look at their structure and look at the sub-Saharan people, their structure, that's different as well. Our bodies in South Asia, especially India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, these people were supposed to have not much fat. You could see their bones or their ribs, and you could still see they would do whole day work. So underweight, again, I would again request, review what do you mean by underweight. If obviously you don't have energy, you have diarrheas, you have other problem, you have digestion problem, then you need to see the doctor. Otherwise, don't try to become Arnie Schwarzenegger. Thank you.
Thank you. Abu Niyaf, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Yes, please.
Assalamu
Walaikum.
Sir, in Ramadan, we have to drink a lot of water because you're not drinking throughout the day. But even in the morning, we will not be able to drink that much water as possible. Then how can we exercise or do other activities without having any kidney damage or any other damage in any other way?
Right. Firstly, you need to drink enough water depending on where you are. If you are in the hotter countries, you will need much more, at least 2 liters of water. Your urine, the water you pass, should ideally be light colored. If it's dark, it means you're not drinking enough. Secondly, if you drink enough water, you should not have kidney damage. That's true. The body takes care of it. And body still have got a lot of water in it. And the initial weight that you lose usually is because of the loss of water. Number 3, nobody is saying that you should exercise during Ramadan, especially if it's hot. But you can walk, especially after you have your iftar. You can have a little walk, 20, 30 minutes walk should be fine. You will feel much lighter. When I do without Ramadan, when I do my intermittent fasting thing for 18 hours, I just have a tea and some fruit. I feel much more energetic. I can do a lot more. I can work whole day without stopping. But you need water. If you don't drink enough water, you will have headaches. But my suggestion would be not to have carbonated water, which is the Coke, Pepsi, 7-Up, etc. Don't have sugary drinks, because this is just of no use. If you want to drink water. If you don't like simple water, put a spoon or 2 of yogurt in it, and that will a very nice yogurt drink. You don't have to have very concentrated yogurt drink. Milk is very good, or you can have certain beverages are non-sugary. You can use that. Or there is another thing which I try is have cut lemon pieces, apple pieces or something in water, and it gives it very nice taste. And yes, some people like sikanjabin, which is a lemon drink, but don't put too much sugar in it, because then again, you are having sugar, you are having carbohydrates, which are of not much use. So drink 2 liters. So what you do is after iftar until seher, iftar until seher, try to drink 2.5 liters or something, and you should be fine, inshallah.
Yes, Brother Muhammad Khalid, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum
Sir, my question is that there was no such diseases in the past if we read books. So what is the reason that we face these kind of diseases in this era?
So your question is that we have more diseases in this era? Is that what you're saying?
Sir, I said that there was no such diseases in the past.
All right, okay, hang on. First of all, there are 2 ways to look at it. Number 1, our population was not that much. Number 2, the diagnosis facilities were not there. Number 3, yes, certain diseases have gone up, but a lot of diseases have gone down as well. For example, people don't die of smallpox. You don't have any smallpox, which we call chichak. That's gone. Polio, almost eradicated. Tuberculosis, much better controlled. People dying of pneumonias and stuff. So infectious diseases have gone down. People are living longer. But now we have diseases of age or chronic diseases which relate to age, which is high blood pressures, heart attacks, diabetes, strokes, and cancers. Unfortunately, these diseases, which in European population come at the age of 60s or 70s, we are getting it in this Eastern Hemisphere at much earlier age. So for example, in England or in the United States, the white Caucasians, their diabetes proportion is 3 to 5%. In Pakistan or India, it is more than 20%. And it seems to be happening much earlier. So obviously, we are doing something very wrong. And one reason for that would be that, put it very simply, Allah has made us as Suzuki cars, and we at the moment are behaving or building up as a much bigger vehicle, Toyota, or even bigger. And these are the consequences of early engine failure. And Ramadan, by improving your habits, cutting down on your calories, improving your weight, thereby improving your glucose. And also, there is also good association between cutting down on cancer risk with fasting. We had a study called Sabr. Sabr was soul and body rejuvenation. You actually can do both in this Ramadan. You can find back your soul and you can get back your health. Thank you.
Engineer Sardar Khan, sir, please unmute yourself.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. I welcome to Dr. Saeedullah Shah Sahab, who belong to our tribal area. This is very good program. In most of our areas, the gastroenteritis disease is common. And in Ramadan, the pakoda with chutney, we cannot ignore. And I want to listen about this special Ramadan gift from the Dr. Saab. Thank you.
I remember in our school days, there was a lesson about someone who went to Hakim or a doctor to get, he had tummy pain. The patient had pain in his abdomen. So the Hakim or the Tabib asked him, what did you have? And he said, I ate burned food, burned roti or burned bread. So the Hakim gave him something for his eyes. And that was, so he said, I've got pain in my tummy. Why you're giving something for my eyes? He said, so you see what you are eating and that will treat your problem. Well, why don't they, if they like pakoras that much, which is such a non-tribal food, because tribals never had pakoras, these things came from mostly from probably from Lucknow or Urdu-speaking India. So first of all, we never had in tribal culture, we never had. So when you take these culture, and mostly these pakoras come from the shops, and you look at their hands, I remember I almost died because I had a milkshake somewhere and I developed hepatitis E, which is hepatitis E comes, hepatitis A and hepatitis E is related to food. And I should have seen the hands of that man who probably went to toilet, didn't wash his hands, and whatever he had, he passed it on to me. And I almost died. Bazaar food at the moment, I'm very sorry to say, and it is unlike West where you can get food from bazaar and it will not cause problem, or even in Dubai or in Arab countries where law is still strict. But unfortunately, it's not the case even in very good restaurants of our countries, whether they are these people who are telewala, or if they are very posh. Every time I go out to eat outside, I have tummy upset. So best thing would be eat at home. That will save you money. Have pakoras if you really like them at home, and you will feel the difference. And the same problem with water as well. The water made products, salads which are from outside, will cause problems. Very few people won't have gastroenteritis. Thank you.
Dr. Saab, there is a question in the chat box. Is it okay for children to keep fast?
I started fasting. I mean, I'm talking because I've gone, when I was, my children asked me today, yesterday, that what was your toughest? So I was 7 years of age when I started fasting, and it was winter. And I told them, and then we were talking, I said, this is my last winter, because this is the last cycle. Each cycle is, I think, 300 days or something, when you come back to the same season or winter or whatever it is. So I started in winter. This is actually what we had at home. Our little one, we asked her, I mean, she wanted to fast and we encouraged her. But then for one day when the day was okay. In winter, probably she can fast a bit more. Whatever, Islam doesn't ask for children to get, but they can try on the day when they're off work, not going to school, or sometime even what we call Chidiya Rosa, which is they can, after a few hours, they can start eating, etc. So it's up to the children. I started fasting at the age of 7 or 8 and until now, but that was winter. Probably my mother would not have allowed me if it were long summer Rosa. So it's entirely up to the child and their parents.
Okay, another question. What lifestyle is ideal for VSD patients?
What patient?
VSD. I think the people who have a hole in their hearts or something like that.
No, that is, okay, this is a very, again, this is very, VSD, not VFD. This is a very individual, this is a individual consultation, which is very difficult. Without seeing the patient, without knowing the patient, it's very difficult to individually give an advice. VSD is a condition which should be repaired if it needs be. Otherwise, any lifestyle, any good lifestyle is for everyone, whether you've got VSD, whether you are whatever you are. Healthy lifestyle is for everyone, and healthy lifestyle consists of balanced food, balanced diet, appropriate weight, and your weight will determine, your food will determine your weight, activity, and no smoking. 4 things, these are important. So first thing is balanced diet, balanced food, appropriate weight, enough exercise, and no smoking. In today's reference, 4 things, and this will cut down on your heart disease, your diabetes, stroke, and cancer in a big way.
Next 4 questions appear to be from the participants from Africa. Yes, brother Waiswa Ismail Taipaka. He's not there, I think. Dr. Abdul Ghani.
Yes, thank you very much, admin. I'm so appreciative for the session, and may God reward you abundantly, our facilitator. One of the issues that affects people during Ramadan or in other
Brother, your voice is not clear. Your voice is not clear. We cannot hear you properly.
Can you type? Can you send a type message?
Yes, you can type it. Yes, you can type it. Send it to us. Dr. Abdul Ghani, please go ahead with your question.
Okay, fine.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam.
Doctor, I appreciate you. May God Almighty reward you abundantly for all the information that we get from you. My question is not a question per se, but what I just want to throw more light on. Here in Africa, we have been receiving so many messages about what to use to break our fast that will make us be healthy. Some say that hot water is the best, that when you want to break your fast, it's better for you to take hot water. And others also say that if you want to break your fast, it is better for you not to you drink soft drinks, particularly the one that has gas. As a specialist, I want you to throw more light on this so that you understand, because different social media have been sending to us in Africa. You want to fast hot water, don't use all these that is all the cook or that's very cold. It can have a negative impact on our head. Doctors, please just throw more light on it so that you understand it better. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Again, make life simpler. Make life simpler. And again, I will request everyone to cut down significantly the use of social media. Go to the specialist. Don't listen to simple things. It's there in Quran, it's there in Hadith, it's there in Riwayat. Simple thing, water. I mean, it's what we deduce from that is breakfast with khajur, with dates. That is a sunnah. It is considered to be good. Then use water. If you don't like plain water, put something in it, like a bit of yogurt, which is very good, especially if you lost a lot of sweat. If you have been sweating a lot, then a bit of salt in it, a yogurt, it's very, very tasty. I love it. Or there are drinks, some beverages which don't have sugar, sugar-free drinks, which you can add to water, but do not drink the so-called juices. They're full of sugars. They've got no energy value. They will just put on bad energy to you. They will put on pounds and pounds and kilos without any benefit. Plain water, milky water, milk, yogurt water, lemon, cut down a bit of apple in it. That is perfect. Hot water or something. You don't need to drink too much cold water. You don't need to drink very hot water. That's another thing which started in COVID days, that if you drink plenty of hot water, nothing will happen. Well, this is all, it's just unscientific. So just plain water. If it's hot, put some ice in it, and that's it. Simple food. You don't have to have, keep it simple. Ramadan is simplicity, no decadence. Thank you.
Yes, Moali. Brother Moali, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Ramadan Kareem. I appreciate Dr. Isan. I'll also appreciate our today lecturers, our father in Islam, our doctor, our prof. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you abundantly. I think, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, the first question goes thus. As you just explained about taking water or dilute your water with any milk, that is very good. Here in Nigeria, as my brother Dr. Abgani rightly said, the first question goes thus that what is Ramadan? We are in month of Ramadan. Can we say Ramadan is assisting us to fight some disease, in our body? Is it assisting us to help us reduce some disease already in our body? We are not eating for some hours. We are not drinking water for some hours here and there. Although I joined the lecture late, I'm very sorry. So that's my first question. Is it really assisting us to fight some disease? That's the first question. Can you hear me, doctor?
Yes.
Yes.
The second one goes thus. You said we should minimize consuming of anything with sugary Fanta, Coke, and any other juice. But there's some doctor, they said, if you want to break, you just have to take fruits, like maybe Davidon, maybe Hippo, maybe anything like a fruit. And the fruit also contains a mechanism sugar. How do we justify that? Should we go straight to water? Is it hot one? Is it natural one? Should we take water and the milk? Should we go for the fruit? Please enlighten us more. Thank you.
Right. Firstly, regarding, first of all, we fast because we have been asked to do that. Simple as that. So that is one. And it's not only our religion, Christianity and other religions also have fasting in them. One. Being a medic, if you take the religion out of it, we look at what can be used, what can be scientifically, and I have in detail in the first part of my talk, I explained that lack of calories, lack of energy, restricting diet improves your health in many ways. First of all, by cutting down on your calories intake, that would mean it gives rest to your liver, to your pancreas and other organs. They give more time. They will have time to repair themselves. They will have time to get rid of the toxic stuff, because otherwise it's constantly, this machine is working. We never stop. After 5 minutes, we have to have something to eat. After half an hour, we have, and then the body is busy. Take any machines, and any machine, if it's carry on doing heavy load all the time, it will fail. So by restricting all this, you improve, and there is scientific data, a lot of data, that you should lose weight. When you lose weight, your glucose control gets better. Your diabetes will improve. If you're going towards diabetes, your diabetes progression will slow down. It is good. And when you lose weight, it's good for your joints. It also cut down on cancer. It improves your memory, your sleep, and everything. Because if you look at it, even losing weight gives you a lot of benefits. That's one. I think that would answer. And if you want to look at it, there is a lot of literature. There's a lot of data available on fasting. If it's not Ramadan, just fasting, if you look at it, you will find it. Number one. Number two, again, breakfast with, which is the sunnah, the way is with the date. If not date, then drink water. It just plain water, it doesn't have to be very cold or very hot. Just water as you would like after a sport or when you're thirsty. What sort of drink do you like? But here we are talking about the health benefit. If you want to enjoy or don't worry about health, then you can drink whatever you want to drink. You can have a milkshake. But if you want to use Ramadan to improve your health, then keep it simple and keep the calories load minimal. And these sugars, which are present in Coke, Fanta, or white sugar, or whatever, these are pure sugar. The sugars that are there in fruit or bread or rice, they are complex sugar. They take a while to be digested and release in your system. This is pure sugar. It goes into your system, quickly absorbed, suddenly increase your sugar levels, and that affects your insulin. That's why there is so much difference between the two. Take apple, for example. Apple has got 50 kilocalories, but by the time you eat it, you chew it, you break it, it goes through your esophagus into your stomach, acid dissolves it, and then it goes into small intestine. It takes up to 2 hours. And the calories are gradually absorbed. This is what we want. But instead, if you have an apple juice, it probably will have 50 kilocalories, but it will not have all the benefits associated with it. all the roughage which comes with it, the skin which comes with it, and it will be quickly absorbed, which we don't want. I hope I have answered your question. Thank you. I think we should be fine.
We have two questions, except last.
Okay.
Yes,
my patients are waiting.
Yeah, this question, and afterwards we will request Dr. Professor Fakhul Islam sir. Yes, Brother Ibrahim, go ahead.
Wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Thanks to my doctor, may God bless your knowledge, for presenting this very beautiful, a beneficial in this Ramadan. May God give us the benefit of this holy month of Ramadan, inshallah. My question is this: I was diagnosed that I'm having a gastric ulcer, and I'm having a problem from my back down to the leg. Even sometimes when I'm praying, I will not be able to stand very well. I'll be shaking sometimes. So serious pains I used to have it from the joints of my back down to the legs. So, and I was told that I'm having this gastric ulcer. Please, what kind of help can you do, or tell me how am I going to do? Am I lacking some exercises? Because they said it's due to the overeating that I was before. So that's the reason that I should reduce my eating and the kind of something that I'm eating too. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you. First of all, gastric ulcers can't be diagnosed until you have endoscopy done, which is a pipe down your stomach. It's usually the indigestion which you feel acid in your chest or burning sensation. That is acid. Yes, your food, certain food will cause it more than other. If you eat regularly, small amounts, you should not have this problem. But it's very easily managed. There are certain tablets available which can help you. People sometimes raise their head end. So if they're bed, if they raise head ends, put a brick under the bed, they actually improve. And also if you cut down on your tea and coffee after 4 o'clock, that is after iftar, if you don't drink tea or coffee and cola drinks, your indigestion and acidity will improve as well. It's very easy, and you can have antacids which will help you as well. But the main issue is your lifestyle. If you improve your weight, more walking around and cut down on your food, that would improve. With regards to your back problem, etc., I don't think I'll be able to do much about it, because you need to see a medic for that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Covered about children and older people, but one question is related to youth. What about Sahri and Iftari for youth from 20 to 26 years old?
I mean, again, the principles are there. Just like in Salat, we know 5 times, the principles are there. Healthy diet should be from the day one. When the kids are born, children are born, when they are actually in a mother's mother's button, mother should eat healthy, and then when they are born, they should eat healthy. When they are 5 years old, they should eat healthy. When they are in their teenage, they should eat healthy. We see younger people coming with diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and heart attacks. It means something is terribly going wrong. Ramadan is a good, there is a term we used, boot camp. Boot camp is, or training camp, where you can review. What we call, there is a term we use, tathir, which is reformation. You go and reform your mind, your soul, and your body. Now, kids, they need more energy. They burn a lot more energy. But they should eat sensible energy, sensible food, not in iftar pizzas or burgers or something. This is the time when you get your children back to the table for healthy, nice food and tell them this is the time to improve your health, because these kids, whoever they are all eating unhealthy things. That is, we again, I'm saying we can afford, I'm a doctor, I can afford a lot of things, not massively, but reasonably. I'm middle class, but our food remains very simple. There will be vegetable, if needs be a bit of meat in it. This is what my mother cooked and her mother cooked. And home cooked bread, which is a whole meal, a lot of salad. And yes, there are pakoras and samosas, but homemade, and not always. There is dahi bale, not always, hardly any mithai. And none of us are obese. They're all fit. And this is what I expect from all of you as well. Sorry, I have to give my personal example, but I try to do whatever I preach. And I think Ramadan is a wonderful opportunity. And that's why we use utilizing Ramadan to redo your body and soul. Tathir. Tathir, you do reform your body. Thank you. Last question.
Yes, thank you very much. I would like to request Professor Dr. Fakhrul Islam for his comments and few words of thanks. And Dr. Saab has referred to HEAL program, and the other one was, Dr. Saab, both. What was its name?
What we'll do is HEAL is during Ramadan, and after Ramadan we have a Comet Health. You can be part of it, but that would require some are online, but some will be visiting. So that again, we will, inshallah, after Ramadan, will introduce you. There is also diabetes reversal, improving diabetes, and so many other things. Okay. Be part of KMF or whatever senior citizen group we have. And there's also another group which is called Improved. So you can be part of it. And maybe through your institution, we can work on these as well.
Yes, inshallah. So we will share I have shared the email of Center for Peace and Global Studies. So anyone who is interested, he can contact, inshallah. Yes, Professor Fakhrul Islam Sahab.
Assalamu alaikum. I hope you are listening to me. Thank you very much, Dr. Saeedullah Shah. Thank you so much for your thought-provoking lecture and very easy health tips during the month of Ramadan. However, I would like to invite your attention to a fact, which is that overeating has been a cultural dimensions too. In Pakistan and probably elsewhere, we eat more when we are happy, like on marriage ceremonies, birthdays, parties, etc. Similarly, we eat more on occasion when we are unhappy, like on death ceremonies, etc. And even in this holy month of Ramadan, people eat a lot on iftar party. And likewise, it's also a cultural problem that we wish that our guests eat more and more. So my question is it not difficult to eradicate a bad habit? It is not a good habit to eat more. So my question is it not difficult to eradicate a bad habit of overeating, which is enshrined in our culture? This is my question. And at the end, I would like to share with the participants a very simple principle from you. You said it in one of your conversations with us, and you said that any food which is hard to eat is useful to the body, and any food which is easy to eat is harmful to body. Please correct me if I have wrongly quoted you. Jazakallah.
Right. The thing is, it is, I think I will put it another way as well. Yes, in good old days, few generations ago, we had these things were enshrined in us, but there were fewer opportunities. And whatever was there was not that much rich. But now it seems to be that we seem to be, our weddings are occasions of joys and occasions of grief have become too luxurious as well. And when these things happen, people will suffer. But there are people who have the opportunity to go to all these weddings or grief occasions or everything, but they refrain themselves. Look at the West. They have much more material resources than us. They are much more richer. They can get whatever they can get. But if you look at it, the upper middle class and the upper classes are slim, smart, and they live longer and their food is controlled. The working class, again, we are talking of the white Western or non-white Western societies, where the working class, they're fatter, they eat more, usually eat unhealthy food, and as a consequence, there is more disease. For example, in Birmingham, there is one area which is richer, middle class, upper middle class. They live up to 85, 87 years of age, average. And there is a next area which is mostly Asians, Africans, and also poorer people, and they live up to 67. You can see 20, 15 years difference. So yes, this is what, there is a proverb for it. Okay, let's hope that the bald one doesn't have long nails, or the monkey doesn't have a knife in his hand. Yes, these all things are there, but we should restrict, we should control ourselves. And Ramadan is a very good opportunity to improve our habits. So that is one thing. Secondly, yes, complex, for example, apple being more complex, considered it more harder, would take longer, would have complex carbohydrates, would take longer to digest and good for your health than much softer or in a liquid form apple juice. That is the case. Similarly, bread with barn, or what we call the choker, which is unrefined bread, is difficult to digest, but has got much more benefits than the usual white bread, which is easy to digest, but will cause more problem. This is a very good, I think you said it. I don't remember whether I said it or not, but complex is good. Complex food is good. Your plate should have complex thing, a bit of meat or chicken, a bit of grains, a bit of beans, a lot of salad, some bread or rice. This is what it should be, rather than just one type of food. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab and all the participants, and Dr. Fakhr Islam Saab, Dr. Atiq Zafar Saab, Dr. Shahid Rafi Saab, all of you who are here. We have good news, announcement from Center for Peace and Global Studies that our chairman, Professor Dr. Anis Ahmad, he has been awarded with award of Sitara Imtiaz by the government of Pakistan 2 days ago. So we congratulate all the team of Center for Peace and Global Studies and all the well-wishers. Regarding this activity, it's a monthly activity. We hold this lecture every Saturday, last Saturday at this time. So inshallah, we hope that you will join us next time. Thank you, Dr. Saab, for your time and for your valuable input, and you guided us in a very professional and good way, and many of the brothers have benefited from it. We hope, inshallah, in future we will collaborate and we will interact in more such activities. And if we invite you for any further lecture, we hope you will agree and you will give us time. Jazakallah khair. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.